This is a message from the blacks to the Iranian military. We don't have nothing to do with the United States. So please, please, if there's any way you can leave us out of it, we have a number, we have an email address. Black Twitter is up and running. If you can just tweet us what's going to happen before it happens so that we can move accordingly. We just want to put it out there. The United States does not represent us. Anything they say is being told against our will. We promise you we do not agree with anything they are saying. We as a black community, we have been, oppressed for a very long time. We are all very tired, but we're also a really, really good time. So like we just feel like if we can just all get on the same side, if we can just have a little chat before anything happens, not saying anything will happen, but in the event that it does, can the blacks get a heads up first? I mean, I just ran the other day, so we really have a lot in common already. We keep inviting people to the cookout, but like, it's not a real cookout, but for you, we can put a little something on the grill. If there's something that you like, if you like chicken, if you don't eat the red meat, that's fine. Like we can really throw down with chicken and shrimp. Like it's really whatever you want. Just like let us know ahead of time. So yes, if there's any information that you have, please tweet at Black Twitter, hashtag Black Twitter, so we can spread the word in our community. We won't tell nobody else. We promise you. We don't believe in snitching here. You tell us, it's lips sealed, zipped, put away, key thrown away. Yeah, just let us know.
I ran, hey, how y'all doing? I just wanted to confirm we're good, right? Like we're good, right? We cool. Cause we ain't got nothing to do with that. I think y'all said we was cool, but I just wanted to confirm. Cause because I feel as though it gets to a point, but we are not that. So all right, cool.
This message is for all the Iranians coming from black folks. We didn't vote for this. We didn't vote for this mess in 2016. We didn't vote for this mess in 2020. We sure in the hell didn't vote for it in 2024. Only thing I ask, if you all do anything over here in the States, anything, please give the opportunity of black folks to get out of there before you start doing whatever you want to do. That's all I asked. Oh, and by the way, many Palestinian Americans who could vote over here, they also advise people not to vote for VP Harris. They advise them to vote for that person in the White House. So I'm just throwing that out there. I know we've had our differences in regards to when we're coming to your store and whatnot, but at the end of the day, we did not vote for this. So just make sure that if you see us, give us opportunity to clear out. That's all I'm asking.
Hey, you all, welcome back. And you know something that doesn't get talked about enough? And a lot of black Americans are looking at the tension between the US and Iran. And they're saying, this isn't our fight. And that reaction is coming out of nowhere. It's actually tied to history that many people either don't know about or conveniently forget or just don't want to remember. And back in 1979, during the Iran hostage crisis, Iranian students stormed to the US embassy in Tehran and took dozens of Americans hostage. And in total, more than 50 Americans were held captive for almost 444 days. Crazy, right? But before we dive in ahead, let's first watch how people are reacting to this news of black Americans not wanting to be associated with the US and Iran war. And then you're going to come back with a full commentary at the end of the video. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'll gladly appreciate if you guys do so.
In 1979, Iran made a decision about black Americans that shocked the United States. When Americans were being held inside the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, the world expected a long international crisis. But within days, something unexpected happened. Some of the first Americans released weren't random. They were black. Here's where it all gets real. Iran's leader at the time announced that black Americans should be released early. His reasoning stunned the world. He said black Americans were already oppressed in American society. Think about that. An enemy government looked at the United States and said black citizens were already suffering enough, so they let them go. Meanwhile, the remaining Americans stayed inside that embassy compound for 444 days. And today, almost nobody remembers the moment when a foreign government publicly used America's racial history against it on the world stage. What does it say about a country when even its rivals point to the same problem? Comment 1979 if you feel this truth should be known, and especially right now, and follow for more untaught truths.
Everyone wake up right now because we are at war with Iran. It's always happening during the night. It's always happening when we're sleeping. I can't even stretch yet. And I'm sitting here trying to talk to y'all because I literally get up and this is what I have to hear. This is what you missed when you were sleeping because the United States and Israel together, a joint mission together, carried out strikes against Iran, and we are actively at war with Iran. That's what Donald Trump is saying, and he's saying that the U.S. lives might be lost, but that's what happens during war. What? You were the president that said we would not be going to war. You were the person that said that there would not be any regime changes. Everything that you were saying never ends up happening. And I know everyone has speculated for a long time that this was going to happen. I get it. But at the same time, how many more things can Americans really deal with right now? And why were you ever expecting to get a Nobel Peace Prize for ending 8 wars? But here you are now starting one. There's no way that you can actually sit here and say that you are the man of peace. You are the man of peace. You demanded a Nobel Peace Prize and you're starting a war with Iran. How?
When that man threatened Iran last week, he said to the protesters, don't worry, help is on the way. And he said to the Iranian leaders, y'all need to back up. And then the Iranian leaders or a spokesperson or someone in government said, we're not going to miss next time. And the U.S. at the White House level sort of quieted down. And you know what? Listen, I just remember, I'm old enough to remember, during the Iranian hostage crisis, as we called it here in this country, when the U.S. Embassy fell to the revolution there and American hostages were taken. And what most Americans remember is that the hostages were held for 300 something days, maybe 313 days or something. Americans start having a yellow ribbon to symbolize the hostages and all this kind of stuff. And the hostages were released. First there was an attempt to get them out, and that failed. And eventually they were released, and it was negotiated and worked out under Jimmy Carter. But Reagan had won the election and had worked out to hold those hostages there until he got in. So in pop culture, many people think Reagan got the hostages released, but that's not what this video is about. You know what this video is about? When they had those hostages, the Iranians said, we're going to let the black people go. The Iranians let the black people go because they said, listen, we know y'all working here for this government, but we know you are not in control of that government over there in the United States. Y'all can go. And that's sort of some forgotten history about the what we call the Iranian hostage crisis. And so now that there's another little battle going on between this government and the Iranians and the revolution there and the battles we're having here, all I'm saying is, if y'all decide to do something, just remember, just like y'all let us go last time, leave us out of this mess.
Donald Trump does not care about democracy in Iran. Donald Trump doesn't care about democracy right here in America. He tried to steal the 2020 election because he couldn't get over the fact that he lost that election fair and square. He is currently trying to interfere with the midterm election. He's currently trying to pass the SAVE Act, which is very anti-democracy, and he's threatening to put ICE agents at the polls during the midterms to intimidate voters. Donald Trump himself is anti-democracy. He's anti-free speech, and I think it goes without saying that he's not particularly concerned with women's rights in Iran either. Donald Trump was intentionally vague with his reasons for bombing Iran in the days leading up to it, but the idea that Donald Trump dropped these bombs to help the people of Iran is a little silly. One of Donald Trump's stated reasons for bombing Iran is to prevent them from getting a nuclear weapon, so it's worth mentioning that Barack Obama had reached a deal with Iran to prevent them from getting a nuclear weapon, which Donald Trump almost immediately ripped up when he entered office. And now we're at war with Iran to prevent them from getting a nuclear weapon. It's also the case that Donald Trump said in June that Iran's nuclear program had been obliterated. So was he lying then or is he lying now? Donald Trump is being very reckless by moving forward with this without congressional approval like he's supposed to. Whether or not you think military action in Iran is warranted, Donald Trump is perhaps the last person who should be leading this charge.
Did you know that during the 1979 Iran hostage crisis, they released 13 Black American and female hostages about 2 weeks after the U.S. Embassy was seized? They basically released them because they realized and recognized that Black Americans and women in general were also victims of American imperialism. And so they released them because they were like, hey, they're less likely to be spies, so we'll let them go. They held onto the remaining 52 hostages until about January of 1981. And then those same 13 Black American and women hostages were later excluded from the financial compensation provided to the other 52 hostages by the American government.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers. Message to Iran. Yes, my brothers. This is Black America. Yes, we have nothing to do with what Donald Trump is doing. I just want to say to you, my brothers, remember that joke we was talking about with dude put the comb up and you know what I'm saying, he had the mustache and we all start laughing and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You remember that? You know, y'all remember that? We cool, bro. Remember we friends with bros, bro. The white folks, they live in Idaho. Y'all, hey, just check the comments. Where are the racist white folks? You know what I'm saying? We ain't talking about the non-racist white folks. You know what I'm saying? The cool white folks, we call them beige, peach, and tan. They like they cool. They saving dolphins and shit. But listen, you know, it's Ramadan. It's Ramadan. You can't even do nothing right now till the sun go down. It's Ramadan. So my brothers and my sisters, just stay away from black areas. You can't, come on. Don't you want to be down? You know what I'm saying? We got sports, we got all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? But, anyways, we ain't do shit. We just here. We're just now figuring out we indigenous Black Americans. We've been told we from Africa all our damn life. So, my brothers, please make sure you shoot at the people who look like the inside of my hand and not the back of my hand. And if you see some people that look like the back of my hand chilling with maybe like one person that look like the inside of my hand, but the person from the inside of my hand act like people and look like YNs, you know, but the back side of my hand, then you know that them white folks, they cool. But the rest of them folks, you can go all down south. They gonna point you in the right direction. Idaho. I don't think how many black people in Idaho. I'm just saying. Salam. We have peace. We should all go society.
I know we all have probably seen that video of the Marines speaking out at a hearing with senators and politicians saying that no one wants to fight a war for Israel. And as a veteran, it speaks so much volume that this Marine would come in uniform and speak so much symbolism to the message. Now, if you guys don't know, if you don't know about American politics and why people say Israel is controlling the country, it's because we fund Israel a lot of money every single year. When the government shut down last year and TSA employees and government employees did not get paid, Israel was still getting paid. And our politicians were saying it's for national security. Now with the money we pay Israel, they pay AIPAC. If you don't know what AIPAC is, it is a lobbying group. Lobbying groups usually invest in politicians' campaigns in order to get favor. AIPAC has funded a lot of our politicians, Republican and Democrat. And what that means is a lot of times our politicians that we vote for will do things not only in the interest of America, but also in Israel. Israel has been saying for decades that Iran is building a bomb. Now, President Trump said that he nuked the whole facility, and that's supposed to be the end of that. So that Marine spoke a lot of volume, because why are we still in conflict? Even if you don't feel like we're in war, we have lost soldiers. We should not be in no conflict. No one wants this. Like Tupac said, the late Tupac Shakur said, we have money for war, but not enough money to feed the poor. And that's so powerful. We have so much going on back at home. We have Americans that are being terrorized in the streets. We have farmers that are struggling to keep their land because all these terrorists are impacting them when it comes to them getting their soybeans and their crops from different countries. We have all these people struggling. And no matter how you feel politically, it is the truth. We don't have time, we don't have the patience, and we just don't have it to be trying to solve the world's problems when we have our own problems at home. Shout out to that veteran, shout out to his service, and you're welcome for my
The Islamic Republic in Iran can be an oppressive dictatorship, and America can be a bloodthirsty, genocidal imperialist at the same fucking time. At the same damn time! Two things can be true at once. The Iranian people deserve freedom. This is one. They deserve not to be jailed for wearing their hair out of hijab, speaking their mind, performing music, journalism. They deserve the right to express their humanity. They deserve not to be murdered for protest. All of those things have happened under this government. That is oppression, that is unjust. Number two, another equally as true thing. Trump's a piece of shit. America and Izzy are bloodthirsty, genocidal imperialists. They are not liberators. They are the Bhagavad Gita, the destroyer of worlds. Like, anything they do serves their own interest. I personally don't think history boasts that it ends well when it begins with them bombing. And both things can be true at once. A lot of people flooded my comments, many Iranians even, saying, oh, Iran bombed their own school. That was the Republic. That wasn't America and Izzy, because the niggas that bomb schools all the time couldn't possibly have done it again. You like it, I love it. That's like if Joe Rogan gets accused of saying nigga, like, I'm believing it. I got 7 minutes of uninterrupted YouTube proof of his history of hard R. The whole thing requires nuance. Think about when Trump commuted and ended many people's sentences. He freed mad niggas, but he does not love niggas. It was politically and financially convenient for him. Similarly, in 1979, I heard about Iran taking a bunch of American hostages and letting the black people go because they said we were oppressed enough in America. But their track record doesn't necessarily show a commitment to human rights. I'm learning in real time, that's why I haven't been talking about this. But what I have learned is that Iran has an organic resistance against the oppressive state that's weaponizing Islam. And we don't have to minimize the suffering of the people to reject Western imperialism. My homie Butch Ware said, we don't got a cape for whoever's opposing Uncle Sam. And the enemy of my enemy is not necessarily my friend. Sometimes I just got two enemies. Comment, subscribe for my newsletter to read some of the resources that I've been looking to understand this better.
I actually have no idea why Black Americans would believe if people from other countries came to America to harm American civilians that we would be spared of all people. That actually makes no sense. People in other countries do not fuck with us. I don't know what makes y'all think that they fuck with us like that. They don't even want us in Africa. Africans don't fuck with Black Americans. So what the fuck would make you think that the citizens of Iran would welcome us with open arms? Because our ancestors went through slavery? Because of Jim Crow and we were oppressed for so long that they would just have to be like, yeah, you know, y'all have been through too much. You're good with us. That's not how shit works. They don't fuck with us. They probably fuck with us less than white Americans. I don't know what y'all are getting from apologizing to Iran and saying, yo, like, Iran, we don't got nothing to do with this. Trump did this. We ain't vote for Trump. Like, bro, they're coming over here for us too.
But here's the part that rarely gets discussed. And early in the crisis, the hostage takers released women, mark you, women and African American hostages only. They were released and they were saying it's because they stood in solidarity with oppressed minorities. And so imagine that moment, Black Americans being released and only white Americans remaining captive for almost 44 days. That's crazy, but for many Black Americans, that moment exposed something deeper about how global politics, race and power intersect. Because historically, Black Americans have fought in wars, they have paid taxes, they have defended a country that didn't always defend them back. So when tension rise against between US and Iran, and some people in the Black community are now asking a simple question: why are we always expected to stand behind wars that we never chose? Because when it was our time to fight, everyone was fighting us, but now Iran stood with us. And fun fact, so many Black Americans were released at that point, and the ones who remained being oppressed and who were aggressively held hostage are the white Americans. And now the Black Americans don't want to be associated with this anymore. And now, fast forward to the modern politics. Now Trump is ruling, And many critics are arguing that aggressive policies towards Iran during the presidency of Donald Trump, like pulling the US out of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action nuclear deal and escalating tensions in the region, helped push the relationship between the two countries back toward confrontation all over again. And to them, it feels like history is repeating itself all over again. And now it's raising more conflict, more political games, and everyday people paying the price that this war shouldn't be happening at this modern era that we are in. And that's why you'll hear some black Americans say clearly, we are not anti-America. Yeah? We are also not automatically supporting every war America gets into or gets involved. Because when you look at the history from segregation at home to complicated moments like the Iran hostage crisis, you start to realize something deeper, that a loyalty to a country and questioning its decision can exist at the same time. And maybe the real conversation we should be having is who actually benefits from these wars and who always ends up carrying the costs. So let me know what you think in the comments, and I'm really curious to hear different perspectives on this story. And if you found this conversation interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share so we can keep having honest discussions like this. And finally, credit goes to all the respective owners of the clips and content used in my video. Your thoughts and perspective made today's work possible, guys. And I'll see you in the next one.